You, we here. About to get on camera. Give me a second. You know what I mean? But yeah, welcome to HollyHood. We in the building. You know what I mean? We did an episode yesterday. Let me get on camera. My fault, yo. You know what I mean? We did an episode yesterday where, we was talking about what happened on ESPN with what's his name? Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith. You know what I mean? Video got blocked by ESPN, of course. You know what I mean? But we did a this one my damn stuff. We did a video, but I was joined by Zelmay. Shout out to Overall 99 Media, GGC Mafia. You know what I mean? But we talked about the whole Caitlin Clark man left off the what's this called? Olympic team. Went over to Michael Rainey Jr. situation, which is very, crazy. You know what I mean? And then also we went over some video that we seen on TikTok and Twitter where, this white girl was basically doubling down on the use of, the N-word. You know what I mean? And, I just had a message that I needed to say during that episode. So if you haven't seen it, just go watch it. But the message was simply that, these white people was getting a little bit too comfortable with using that word because we've allowed them to be too comfortable with it because we aren't, there aren't any consequences behind these people's words and actions. You just let them say and do as they please. You know what I mean? And you give them cookout invitations and all this other shit. But that's not what we're here for today. Today we are here for the top 25 greatest rappers of all time. You know what I mean? I made a list, top 25 greatest rappers of all time. You know what I mean? Of all time. So we're gonna get into that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people had opinions on it, you know what I mean? Which I like. I love opinion. I love when people got opinions about things. You know what I mean? Especially opinions about content that I create. You know what I mean? But I made this list up about I want to say about last week. Last week I made this joint. You know what I mean? So we gonna pull it up in a minute. Before we get started, I want to let you know the criteria for this list that I created for top 25 rappers of all time. The criteria is based off lyricism, flow, delivery, your discography, which is your catalog, and also your impact on the industry. You know what I mean? So flow, lyricism, delivery, catalog, impact on the industry. That is the criteria for the ranking for your top 25 rappers of all time. I got a lot of, feedback about it. People saying, certain people that were supposed to be on the list and that wasn't on the list. A couple names that, would probably never be on somebody, a real top 25 of all time. But, whatever. You know what I mean? But yes, here it is. Top 25 rappers of all time. Like I said, it's based off lyricism, flow, delivery, discography, and impact. You know what I mean? So we're going to start not with Tupac. We're going to go all the way to number 25. Number 20. Wow. You know what I mean? Nicki Minaj. You know what I mean? At 25. Now, I don't know what boy talking about what thirst has to do with Nicki Minaj being ranked. You know what I mean? 20, like, you know what I mean? That's just a weirdo comment right there. But based off the criteria, because people didn't read the criteria, they just reacted and, based off their feelings because it's rappers on here that they don't like. You know what I mean? So remove your feelings and be logical. You know what I mean? Read the criteria before you start bitching about, you know what I mean, people being thirsty and shit like, you know what I mean? But whatever. But yeah, Nicki Minaj at number 25. The impact is like, come on now. You know what her impact is. You know what I mean? She's arguably the GOAT of, the female rappers. You know what I mean? You look at how many albums she sold. You look at what is going on right now with the Pink Friday 2 tour. You know what I mean? The highest grossing tour by any female artist ever. You know what I mean? So, but that's impact. Discography. Discography is a little. The topic is I'm going over my top 25 greatest rappers of all time list. You know what I mean? Discography. You know what I mean? Nicki. The thing is with her discography, she has good albums. She has some good albums in there. Great, not so much. Like, I mean, I don't think there's any classics within, her discography. But that's why she's number 25. You know what I mean? The impact is there. The lyricism, of course. We know Nicki got bars. You know what I mean? The flow. She has a flow. And she has, her delivery. A lot of people don't like her delivery, but I feel like her delivery is what makes her good. That's like the bulk of her style right there, the delivery. So number 25, Nicki Minaj, to me, best female rapper of all time, based off of the criteria. The criteria, not based off your feelings, based off the criteria. And the criteria is, once again, lyricism, flow, delivery, catalog, and impact. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. Let's go on to the next one, number 24. Shout out to the West. Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean? Snoop D-O double jizzle. You know what I mean? At 24. Impact, of course, Snoop is, you know what I mean? If you talk about like who's one of the most you know the word I'm trying to say. My bad, I'm tongue-tied. But anybody know Snoop. I mean, everybody knows Snoop, from old people to young people to children. Everybody knows who Snoop Dogg is. So the impact, what he's done. Doggy Style is one of the greatest debut albums ever. You know what I mean? So let's get into the discography. Doggy Style is one of the greatest albums, debut albums of all time. You know what I mean? But then, a lot of people say after Doggy Style, the albums from Snoop fell off. That's what some people say. I don't say that. You know what I mean? But you look at Snoop discography. The man has so many. He has 19 studio albums. 19 studio albums, over 25 mixtapes. Like, the discography is there. Like, you can't. His first album sold over 6.9 million records. You know what I mean? Second album goes double platinum. Third album goes double platinum. Fourth album goes platinum. You know what I mean? Fifth album goes double platinum. Paid the Cost to Be the Boss goes platinum. Rhythm and Gangster went platinum. You know what I mean? Blue Carpet Treatment. Like, he got so many platinum records on his resume. It's crazy. You know what I mean? So the discography, Snoop got that. You know what I mean? Flow, delivery, Snoop, you know what I mean? He definitely, his delivery for me is what, his delivery for me is definitely, just like I said with Nicki, is what stands out the most. And lyricism, like, Snoop got bars, he can rap, but like, when we talk about lyricists, like, you know what I mean? You don't really be like, yeah, Snoop, one of the best lyrical rappers, you know what I mean? But, he can rap, though. I mean, he got the bars. So, number 24, shout out to the West Coast. You know what I mean? So, Snoop Dogg was my first favorite rapper. Like, when I first started getting into rap music, Snoop was the guy that, was my favorite rapper. You know what I mean? Until, I discovered other niggas. You know what I mean? Because, once I was born in Philly, so once I discovered more East Coast niggas, you know what I mean, my ears started to get a little different. But Snoop was definitely my first favorite rapper. You know what I mean? I was a young boy running around knowing all the words to Gin and Juice. You know what I mean? So I mean, like I knew that song word for word as a child. Yeah, I mean, it was just crazy. I shouldn't have, but I did. You know what I mean? But yeah, shout out to Snoop, number 24. You know what I mean? Let's go to number 23. Number 23, FIFTYCENT. You know what I mean? 50. It's 50, aka Ferrari at 50. Break it down. Got a lot of living to do before I die. I ain't got time to waste. But yeah, 50 Cent, we know the impact. We know Get Rich or Die Trying. The Massacre sold 1,000,000 in 1 week, 1.5 million in 1 week. You know what I mean? Like the impact is there. Discography, you know what I mean? I want to say Get Rich or Die Trying really carries the whole discography for 50. Like, I mean, The Massacre was a good album. You know what I mean? But Get Rich or Die Trying is like, come on. It's one of the greatest albums of all time. Curtis was cool, but that's when, you know, he lost to Kanye West in the sound battle. Before Our Self Destruct was okay, and then Animal Ambition was all right. And then Beg for Mercy. But then you look at his mixtapes, you know what I mean? You know, the mixtapes definitely help. You know what I mean? Because 50 Cent had a great mixtape run. Guess Who's Back? 50 Cent Is the Future. No Mercy, No Fear. You know what I mean? Bulletproof. Like, the Kanan tape was crazy. You know what I mean? But yeah, the discography, impact, he checked the boxes there. You know what I mean? But it's not as high as others on the list because, you know what I mean, like I said, Get Rich or Die Trying is really carrying the whole discography. You know what I mean? Flow, delivery, 50 definitely has that. His delivery is, you know what I mean? The lyrics, 50 can rap, but lyrically, super like, you know what I mean? Intricate bars and shit like that. You know what I mean? That's not his style, you know what I mean? But 50 definitely can rap, you know what I mean? He got the flow, he got the delivery. His lyricism is just not as high as others on the list. But the discography and impact definitely carries 50 to his number 23 spot. You know what I mean? Next, number 22, Scarface. You know what I mean? Shout out to, you know what I mean, Houston's own Face. You know what I mean? The Fix, one of the best albums ever. You know what I mean? The Ghetto Boys, of course. You know, Scarface is just, he could hop on the track with anybody, you know, from the West Coast to East Coast. You know what I mean? Hold His Own, or you would say Scarface had the best, you know, verse on that joint. Like, you know what I mean? Houston legend. Everybody know. Bro, he been out since 1991. You know what I mean? 3 platinum plaques on his resume. You know what I mean? 3 gold plaques. 11 studio albums. You know what I mean? Of course, he got the albums with the Ghetto Boys as well. You know what I mean? Lyricism, flow, delivery. He's a great storyteller as well. You know what I mean? So, number 22, you got Scarface. Number 21, LL Cool J. You know what I mean? Now, based off impact, you could argue that LL could be higher. You know what I mean? Based off his impact, because of what he did for hip hop and his origins. You know what I mean? When it was first breaking onto the scene, like LL was that guy. You know what I mean? He you know, he had the music business, the hip hop. He put it in a different realm, in a different stratosphere. You know what I mean? 13 studio albums. You know what I mean? Yeah, that first album went platinum. Second album 2 times platinum. Third album platinum. Fourth album 2 times platinum. You know what I mean? His fifth album went gold. Sixth album 2 times platinum. Seventh went platinum. Eighth went gold. He got a lot. He got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 platinums, 4 golds. The discography, you know what I mean, speaks for itself. You know what I mean? Lyricism, flow, delivery. LL definitely had a crazy delivery. Definitely had the flow, lyricism. You know what I mean? It was there. Like, he could rap, but like I said, it's not as high as the people that are above him. Like when you get to rappers like a Nas or Eminem or, you know what I mean, Kendrick Lamar, you know what I mean, stuff like that. The bars aren't on that level. But LL Cool J was a hit maker. He was, you know what I mean, the impact in the discography is definitely what lands him on this list. But like I said, I'm not mad if you argue that his impact should have him higher. You know what I mean? Because of what he did for rap and his origin. You know what I mean? But let's get to the next, John. Number 20, Method Man. You know what I mean? Now, Meth, his lyricism, flow, and delivery and the impact is what gets him, you know what I mean, in the top 20. Like, discography, not so much. Because, like, I love Method Man, but, you know, Takao is really, you know what I mean, his best album, the classic, his first joint. Like, you know what I mean? His first one. It came out in 94. You know what I mean? That joint went plat. Then he had, you know, Judgment Day to Kyle 2000. That joint went platinum as well. But, you know, 2 platinum plaques, 1 gold record. He also did go platinum twice with Redman. So, you know what I mean, you gotta take that into account as, you know, the impact that he had with Redman becoming one of the greatest rap duos in history. You know what I mean? But 2 platinum plaques as a solo artist, a gold as a solo artist. We know what he did with Redman, the platinum plaques, and also with Wu-Tang, the platinum plaques as well. Yeah, I mean, but like I said, the lyricism, flow, the delivery, and the impact is what gets him here. The discography kind of knocks him down, you know. It knocks him down a peg. I mean, like I said, because his solo discography, I mean, outside of Takao, which is, you know, probably his best work, I mean, all the other albums, I mean, they fell short of that. I mean, so, but like I said, the lyricism, delivery, and the flow is what, I mean, yeah, for me, yes, Method Man above Snoop because he's a better rapper than Snoop is. You know what I mean? So, but, I mean, next, let's go. Number 19, Cube. You know what I mean? Ice Cube, you know the impact. You know the discography. Like, Ice Cube is like, come on, man. West Coast pioneer. The West, one of the rappers that put the West Coast on the map. You know what I mean? Like, one of the greatest diss tracks of all time with No Vaseline. Today Was a Good Day, one of the greatest storytelling tracks ever. You know what I mean? And then you just look at the discography. What he sold: his first album platinum, second double platinum, third double platinum, his fourth album platinum, fifth album platinum. Then he goes gold, gold. You know what I mean? And of course, Straight Outta Compton with NWA went platinum. Bow Down with West Side Connection went platinum. He was a part of 2 of the greatest West Coast groups of all time. You know what I mean? With NWA and West Side Connection. You know what I mean? But the impact and discography definitely is what lands Ice Cube on the list. And also his delivery. His delivery is what, you know what I mean, made him what he is. Because so many people that I've talked to throughout the years that listen to Ice Cube, they, like, when they listen to him, they really believe that man was going to do harm to him. You know what I mean? Because of how the delivery was. You really believed all that, you know, the gangster shit he was talking. You know what I mean? Because the delivery was just, you know what I mean? So Ice Cube at number 19, I don't know what boy talking about right here. You know what I mean? Saying get him the fuck out of here. You must be from Canada or something. I don't know. But we got Ice Cube at number 19. You know what I mean? Listen, bro. I told niggas, just because niggas is, you know, the pioneers of the game, that don't mean that they gotta be the highest on the list. You know what I mean? Because as rap advance, people get better. You know what I mean? And they do more with the craft and they, you know, they push the envelope more. You know what I mean? But I'm not mad at anybody who has Ice Cube higher than 19. I'm not gonna argue with you. You know what I mean? Number 18, Redman. The criteria is lyricism, flow, delivery, catalog, and impact. You know what I mean? Now, Redman lands here because of the first 3: lyricism, flow, delivery. Like, Redman is one of the like best rappers, period. Like, a lot of people love Method Man, as they should, because I got him on this list as well. But I always said Redman was the better of the 2. You know what I mean? Even before they got together, you know what I mean? When you just listen to Muddy Waters and you know what I mean, what the album and Dares the Dark Side, you know that Redman had, listen, his bars is different. Like he really a spitter. You know what I mean? But the discography, you know what I mean, Redman got one, he has one platinum plaque, you know what I mean, as a solo artist. You know what I mean, the rest he has one, two, three, four gold albums, you know what I mean, another gold album with the Def Squad, and then a platinum album, of course, with Method Man. But like I said, and of course, you know his impact as far as, I mean, with the movies, How High, and all that stuff. I mean, but the lyricism, delivery, and flow is what gives Redman his high marks. I mean, he's one of the best lyricists there is. So, you know. Number 17, Rakim. You know what I mean? People gonna say Rakim should be higher because why? He came out in the 80s. You know what I mean? That's the people's, you know what I mean? Your whole thing about, like, I just gotta dispel this narrative, you know, debunk it. Just because you came out before everybody else does not mean, you know, you are the greatest. It don't work like that. Like, I mean, it's just like I said, the craft advances, people get better, you know. So you, just because you came out in the 1980s does not mean you gotta be a top 5 rapper, you know. But everybody's list is different. This is all subjective. This is not, you know, some list that's set in stone. Like, I mean, I'm just a random dude on the internet that created a list. You know what I mean? Because I like music and this is my opinion. You know what I mean? So other lists will have Rakim higher. On my list, he's 17th. You know what I mean? We know the impact Rakim has. Lyricism, flow, delivery, he got all that. You know what I mean? Discography, when I look at it, you know, he got the 4 solo albums. One of them went gold. You know what I mean? Then he got his albums with the Eric B and Rakim. You know what I mean? And those albums, you know, 1 platinum plaque, 2 golds with Eric B. But still, the lyricism, flow, delivery, and his impact is what gets him on his list. You know what I mean? Rakim's one of the best rappers, period. Like, you know, and he did a lot of, he did most, not even most of it. He did like all his records without cursing. You know what I mean? He didn't curse. Like, and he had bars. So you got to give major points to that. I mean, because a lot of rappers got to use curse words in their, you know what I mean, in their lyrics. He didn't do any of that. I mean, he didn't have to curse, and the bars came out fine. So number 17, Rakim. But like I said, if he's higher on your list, that's fine because that's your list. You know what I mean? And I'm open to criticism. You know what I mean? I don't take anything to heart. You know what I mean? Because this is all just opinion based. I have an opinion. You have an opinion. So if you feel like, you know what I mean, people should be higher or lower, that's your opinion and I respect it. But I'm not changing my list. You know what I mean? So if you make a list and, you know what I mean, you have rappers on here that I don't have, or you have rappers on here that should be higher or lower, I'll respect it because that's your list and I respect your opinion. But this is my list. This is so, you know, but like I said, I'm open to criticism, but I'm not changing anything because of somebody else's opinion because this is my opinion. But let's move on. Number 16, Ghostface Killer. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Woo. You know what I mean? We all listen. For me, I said for years, as a big Wu-Tang fan, Ghostface was always the best. He was always the best in the Wu-Tang. Like the slang, like everything. Like Ghostface is one of the slickest rappers ever. You know what I mean? Great storyteller. You know what I mean? Fire. Like, you know what I mean? Iron Man, one of the best albums of all time. You know what I mean? One of the best debuts of all time. You know what I mean? But you know, you got the discography is not what got him here. You know what I mean? Because if you look at his discography, Iron Man, Supreme Clientele, you know what I mean, and probably Bulletproof Wallets, that is, or maybe the Pretty Tony album, that's, you know, his standouts. But Iron Man and Supreme Clientele, you know what I mean, those are like held in super high regard, and you know, the hip hop historians, you I mean, especially Supreme Clientele. That joint is, I mean, if you haven't listened to that album fully, you should go back and listen to it. I mean, we know what he did as far as, I mean, his records with the Wu-Tang. We know what the Wu-Tang Clan did. I mean, but Ghostface gets here off of his lyricism, flow, and delivery. I mean, that's what's carrying him. He got real high marks in all three of those categories. I mean? So number 16, Ghostface Killer. Shout out to Ghostface. 15, Lupe Fiasco. You know what I mean? Shout out to Lupe. Listen, when you talk about lyricism, Lupe checked that box at least 3 times. You know what I mean? At least 3 times Lupe checked the lyricism box. Like, you know what I mean? You're not gonna find a better lyricist in hip hop than Lupe Fiasco. Like, I don't care what you say. Like, you're not gonna find a better bar for bar rapper than Lupe. Like, I mean, and you know, the discography backs it up. Like, you know, Food and Liquor, The Cool, Lasers, Food and Liquor 2. I mean, Tetsuyo and Youth was crazy. You know what I mean? One of the best albums that came out in 2015. Super underrated. I don't know why more people don't talk about it, but the real hip hop heads know that music was crazy. I mean, that album was crazy. Drogus Wave was good. Drill Music and Zion was one of my favorite albums in 2022. You know what I mean? That was like basically art. I mean, Lupe is definitely an artist. Like, he has the lyricism, he has the flow, he has the delivery. The impact, not so much, but I mean, flow, delivery, lyricism, discography. Lupe is definitely, I mean, one of the greatest rappers of all time. Bar for bar, not gonna find too many rappers better than Lupe Fiasco. Excuse me. So that's number 14. Man, where the hell my drink at? That's number 15. My bad. Number 14, Black Thought. You know what I mean? Philly's own, leader of the Roots, one of the best rappers, period. You know what I mean? Like, if you told, I just said Lupe checked the lyricism box 3 times. Black Thought checked that box at least 5 times over. You know what I mean? With his lyricism. Now the discography, you know, that's more so tied to the Roots than anything. You know what I mean? And the Roots, one of the greatest, you know, groups, period. You know what I mean? But the impact, the flow, delivery, lyricism, it's all there. You know what I mean? One of the pioneers of Philadelphia, you know what I mean, hip hop, rap. The lyricism is just super high marks. You're not gonna find too many rappers that rap better than Black Thought. Like, your favorite rapper's rapper, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper is Black Thought. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, you know what I mean? Because he's just that crazy with the bars. Like, so you seen the Funk Flex freestyle where he went crazy. You know what I mean? So you know the bars are there. But yeah, number 14, Black Thought. Number 13, you know what I mean? Jada. I would do the laugh with my shit, you know what I mean? But top 5 dead or alive, as he calls himself. But we know Jadakiss is one of the greatest rappers of all time. Like, you know what I mean? Been doing it since the 90s with Big. You know what I mean? The Lox, one of the greatest groups ever. You know what I mean? Discography. Jada is more, you know what I mean? The mixtapes, I think, really carry his discography over anything. Like, Kiss the Gang Goodbye, Kiss of Death was good. You know what I mean? Ignitus was good. That came out in 2022. You know what I mean? You know, The Champ Is Here mixtape. Of course, the whole discography with the Lox, of course, we know. But the lyricism, flow, delivery, that's what gives Jadakiss, and also his consistency, his impact. You know what I mean? One of the New York pioneers. So we got Jadakiss at 13. Number 12, Andre 3000. You know what I mean? 3 Stacks coming in at 12. I mean, now, a lot of people will say, oh, Andre 3000 is top 5, top 10. And I'm not mad at you if that's how you feel. But for me, because of the discography is what brings him down to 12. You know what I mean? Everything else, he checks the box. The lyricism, the flow, delivery, impact, it's all there. But I cannot place you in the top 10 or top 5 all time for me with no solo albums. I can't do that. The only solo album you gave us was you playing the flute. It wasn't a solo album of you rapping and making, you know what I mean? So for me, that's a big thing. The discography, the catalog is a big thing. That's why it's in the that's why it's in the criteria. He does not have one solo album to back up. So that's why he's at number 12. But everything else, he got it. The lyricism, delivery, the flow, it's all there. But no solo albums. You know what I mean? The Outkast albums, of course, he did his thing on them Jones. You know what I mean? Of course, we know he has the bars because we listen to Outkast. But because of the Outkast success, you also have to tie in Big Boy as well. You know what I mean? And Andre said that Big Boy is a better rapper than him. You know, he was probably just being humble. But I'm just saying, if you going to say Outkast, the whole discography of Outkast is what should make him higher, then you will have to include Big Boy on your list somewhere. That's all I'm saying. But because of the solo albums, and I've been saying this whole show, with rappers that have been in groups, they have solo albums. You know what I mean? They have solo albums, but their discography wasn't that crazy to get them higher. Also, their bars aren't as good as Andre 3000. That's why they're not higher than him. But the lyricism, delivery, and flow is, he checks those boxes more than one time. I mean, that's why he's at number 12. But the discography is what brings him down. No solo albums, I can't put you in the top 10. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? That's just me. That's my criteria. I'm sorry. Can't put him in the top 10 with no solo joints. You know what I mean? Number 11. I mean, everybody just barked for me one time. You know what I mean? RIP DMX. You know what I mean? We know the impact. You know the discography. Like, DMX literally, was he? Because I don't want to be wrong when I say this, but I feel like he's the only rapper to release an album, 2 albums in 1 year and go platinum. You know what I mean? Like, both times. Like, Dark is Dark and Hell is Hot and Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. They both came out in the same year. You know what I mean? In the same year. Like, but if you want to be technical, you know, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood came out in, 3 days before Christmas. So you can kind of really call that a 1999 album for real. You know what I mean? But then even if you say it's a 1999 album, he still released, and then there was X in 1999, and that went platinum. You know what I mean? 5 times platinum at that. You know what I mean? But you look at DMX discography, dog, like from Dark as Hell is Hot, Flesh of My Flesh, and then there was X, The Great Depression, Grand Champ, all platinum albums. You know what I mean? Like, we know his impact. You've seen the clip of this man performing. Like, the man was literally performing in front of a country. You know what I mean? It had the whole crowd vibing, saying every word. You know what I mean? Every word. Like, the impact was there. DMX, one of the greatest. Like, his discography and impact is what gives him these high marks. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, that John too. But the bars definitely was there. His delivery, that's what made him. You know what I mean? The delivery, like the raspiness, the growling, the barking, all that. Like, I mean, that's what. But number 11, DMX. Now let's go. The top 10. Number 10, Yeezy Taught Me. Kanye West. Number 10. You know what I mean? I know Kanye been pissing y'all off the past couple years. You know what I mean? He pissing me off too a little bit. But not even a little bit, a lot of it, high key. But we gotta keep it a buck, people. You know what I mean? Kanye might have the greatest, his first 3 albums, that might be the greatest first 3 album run ever. You know what I mean? If we gonna keep it a buck, from College Dropout to Late Registration to Graduation. Like, you can't name me of, like, we could debate this. We could go back and forth all night. Like, name me a better 3 album run than that. Graduation, Late Registration, College Dropout. Like, come on. Of course, we know his impact. You know what I mean? We know the impact that Kanye West has. We know the discography. I just read it to you. College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation, 808s and Heartbreak, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which to me, in my opinion, to me, that's the greatest album I ever heard. But My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, you know what I mean? You know, Yeezus, it was okay. You know what I mean? Life of Pablo, to me, that's his most underrated album. You know what I mean? Like, the Life of Pablo was crazy. You know what I mean? Ye was cool. Jesus is King, you know, on his gospel tip. You know what I mean? And then Donda. Like, but I know everybody's thrown off by the MAGA hats and all that other shit. But, you know what I mean? We still got Watch the Throne, which was one of, come on. Lyricism, flow, delivery. Kanye got it all. Like, you know what I mean? He checked every box. He checked every box. You know what I mean? So, Kanye at 10, number 9. This is what everybody got their panties up in a bunch. You know what I mean? And I know we about to be talking on this one for a minute because the comments about to start rolling in. But let's get to number 9. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Drizzy. You know what I mean? Drake. Number 9. Like, now I get it. He lost to Kendrick. Of course, we all know that. You know what I mean? Kendrick was the better rapper. He was going to lose regardless. You know what I mean? But besides taking the L to Kendrick, we gotta, Drake has the impact. Like, we not gonna sit there and say Drake don't got impact. Like, he's been impacting the music industry since he came in, as far as giving people #1 records. You know what I mean? And all that. Like, the impact is there. The impact that he has on streaming and all that. The impact that he has on concerts, shows. Like, he has, I think I saw that on Twitter, out of the top 10, highest grossing rap concerts of all time, Drake, I swear I saw his name on that list at least 4 times. So, you know what I mean? The impact is there. Like, can't take away the impact. Discography, Thank Me Later, Take Care, Nothing Was the Same. Another fire 3-album run. You know what I mean? Do I think it's better than Kanye's? No. But another fire 3-album run. But you gotta look at the numbers that Drake just put up. First, Thank Me Later is 4 times platinum. Take Care is 8 times platinum. 8. You know what I mean? Nothing Was the Same, 6 times platinum. You know what I mean? Views is 8 times platinum. Scorpion is 7 times platinum. You know what I mean? Certified Lover Boy, 3 times platinum. Triple. Honestly, never mind. To me, the most underrated joint on his catalog. Y'all really hated on Honestly Nevermind, and that's what showed his super versatility, and y'all didn't like it. But that joint is platinum. For All the Dogs, we know that's platinum. So, like, and also Her Loss with 21 Savage, What a Time to Be Alive, one of the greatest. You know what I mean? Like, that album is up there with what's it called? Watch the Throne. You know what I mean? And then So Far Gone. Like, I get it. You could say, oh, Drake don't write his bars. He don't, you know what I mean? All right. Out of all the songs Drake ever made, I just read you. You know what I mean? 8 studio albums he has, 7 mixtapes. It's hard for me to believe that, you know what I mean, on 15 projects or whatever, that man ain't write down not one bar. Like, you got to be realistic with yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Regardless of how you feel about the man, he also wrote records for other people. You know what I mean? Y'all love Wayne, and he wrote, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, Drake at number 9. Like, if you don't like him, that's cool. But he checks every box. He checks every box. Lyricism, flow, delivery, impact, discography. He checks them all. He's not higher as the people ranked ahead of him, but he checks those boxes, regardless of how you feel about him. You know what I mean? I know Kendrick put him in a casket, but we got to look at everything. You know what I mean? Take your feelings out of it and use your logic. You know what I mean? Take your feelings out and use the logic. Drake an industry plant now? That's crazy. You know what I mean? That man worked his way up. How he a plant? But Drake at number 9. I mean, definitely. Drake at number 9. You know what I mean? Well, let's get it. Number 8. Kicking in the door, waving the 4-4. You know what I mean? Biggie Smalls. You know, I know a lot of questionable lyrics. You know what I mean? Bro, Drake literally started as an actor on Degrassi, was on songs with Trey Songz. You know what I mean? His mixtape was handed to Wayne, then Wayne put him on. Like, that's not an industry plan. An industry plan is just somebody that's handpicked by a label and they just give him a backing. Like, he already had mixtapes. He was already on records with people that was in the industry. Trey Songz. He was on songs with Mickey Fax. Like, I mean, he's not a plant. He never was a plant. Like, but Biggie Smalls, number 8. Lyricism, flow, delivery, impact, of course. Biggie got all that. Discography, he only got 2 albums. So, you know what I mean? That kind of, hurts. But because those 2 albums were so good, you know what I mean? You don't really care. Like, I mean, you just got to keep it a buck. Like, Ready to Die, one of the greatest debut albums ever. Like, you know it. You know what I mean? Life After Death was another one. Then, he had the albums after he passed. 2 of them went platinum, but the bars was there. There was a lot of questionable stuff that Biggie did say. You know what I mean? Because but if you remove that and you just look at the impact he had, he was a part of one of the most iconic rap feuds ever. East West Coast, Tupac versus Biggie. You know what I mean? Warning, one of the greatest songs of all time. You know what I mean? Just like Biggie Smalls, number 8. You know what I mean? He checked every box. Discography, he might, you know what I mean? But number 8, Biggie. Number 7, Eminem. You know what I mean? Now, I've been getting a lot of flack recently from these Eminem fans because I didn't like the new song. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't good. But, lyricism, flow, delivery, impact, Eminem got it all. Like, I mean, he checks the lyricism box more than once. We know that. You know what I mean? He's one of the, like, I'm never going to take M's lyricism away from him. I mean, it's some shit that he do say that, you know what I mean, that y'all be blowing out of proportion. But, he do got bars. You know what I mean? He do got bars. He can rap. The white boy can rap. You know what I mean? We not going to act like he can't. You look at the discography, of course he got it. You know what I mean? You just look at all the you just look at what he sold. You know what I mean? It's just, but we get the demographic and the people that are buying his records, but still, you know what I mean? When you got albums on your catalog that's 11 times platinum, 12 times platinum, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to argue that your discography ain't, you know what I mean? It ain't like that. Like, and almost everything this man put out, not even, almost everything this man put out then reached over 1 million. You know what I mean? Because we know he got a hardcore fan base, you know what I mean, that loves, you know what I mean? Yeah, definitely. But the lyricism, impact, his flow is crazy. Eminem do got a crazy flow. You know what I mean? If you listen to him. And his delivery is definitely what drew people in. You know what I mean? People did like M's delivery. There are a lot of questionable bars in his catalog as well. He did say some very unsavory things about some black women back in the day. You know what I mean? Of course we know a lot of the other cringeworthy stuff that he says within his music. But number 7, I'm not going to disrespect the man. He is a top 10 rapper of all time. There are people that believe he's the greatest ever. I don't, and I'm never going to say that he is. But he's one of the greatest. But the greatest ever? No, not for me. You know what I mean? But Eminem at 7. Let's go to number 6. Cole. You know what I mean? Now, I know y'all mad that he apologized Yeah, I mean, Busta Rhymes was my boy, but he ain't in my top 25. He is, if I was to do a top 30, he would have been in it, but he not top 25 for me. But he would have been in the top 30 though. You know what I mean? But J. Cole, number 6. I don't know who Bull is right here, but he's a dickhead. You know what I mean? So I don't know who you are, Lee Graham, but you don't know what the fuck you talking about, and you look like, yeah, you definitely don't know what you're talking about. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna disrespect nobody, but if you look like him, you can't tell me anything about rap music. So keep your mouth shut. You know what I mean? But number 6, J. Cole. You know what I mean? Regardless of how you feel about the Kendrick Lamar apology, you know what I mean? Regardless of how you feel about the Kendrick Lamar apology, J. Cole's still one of the greatest rappers ever. Like, I don't care what nobody say. Like, before this whole Kendrick and Drake shit happened, Cole was on a run that was like comparable to Lil Wayne. Like, he was just going crazy. Like, and the impact that J. Cole has. He checked the box with the lyricism, the flow, the delivery. The discography is there. You know what I mean? His first album, we don't really fuck with that genre like that, but it's okay. Born Center, you know what I mean? Forest Hills Drive, one of the greatest. For Your Eyes Only, KOD, The Off Season. All them joints fire. We know now we got Dreamville, we got niggas like Jid and all that because of Cole. You know what I mean? So J. Cole, number 6, greatest rapper of all time. Number 5, Pac. You know what I mean? Top 5 that Tupac Shakur. Impact. Come on now. Like, Impact. Tupac checked the impact box like at least 10 times. Like, you know what I mean? He might be the most impactful rapper of all time. You know what I mean? If we gonna keep it a buck. Like, you know what I mean? The impact alone. Like, I'm gonna just be honest. The impact alone, if you wanted to say he was number 1, I wouldn't be mad at you. Just because of his impact alone. You know what I mean? But there's other things in the criteria that you have to take into account. So that's why he's number 5. But the impact, you know what I mean? The discography, All Eyes on Me, one of the best, probably double albums of all time. You know what I mean? Me Against the World. That, and then the albums that came out after the death, you know what I mean? They were still fire. Like, I mean, but Tupac, he checks the impact box more than once. You know what I mean? Lyricism, he got it. His flow was there, his delivery. You know what I mean? I just don't feel like his lyricism was higher. Like, I just don't feel like he was a better rapper than the ones that I have ranked above him. That's all. You know what I mean? But the impact is there, discography, everything else. He got it. You know what I mean? Tupac, like I said, if you want to put him at number 1 based off impact alone, I'm not mad at that because, like I said, he might be the most impactful rapper of all time. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I wouldn't even argue if you put him at number 1 just strictly off his impact. Like, you know what I mean? But like I said, it was other things in the criteria that brought it down. You know what I mean? Number 4. Ooh. Nas. Escobar. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Nas at number 4. You know what I mean? Now, this is, when I posted this list, a lot of people was mad because they said Nas is number 1. He's the best. He's the greatest ever. And I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you for that. You know what I mean? But we know he checked the box with the lyricism, flow, delivery. You know what I mean? We know that. The impact, I mean, it ain't as high as Pac's, but he definitely has some impactful. The discography definitely is what put him ahead of Pac in my opinion. It was just the discography. You know what I mean? The discography and his lyricism. Because I always even though I am a fan of Tupac, I always felt Nas was a better rapper than Tupac. That's just me. You know what I mean? It's not even no East Coast bias or anything. You know what I mean? Just listen to bar for bar. I just feel like Nas is a better rapper. You know what I mean? So when you look at his discography, you know what I mean? From Illmatic, which many people argue that that's the greatest rap album ever. You know what I mean? And I'm not mad at you because Illmatic is, you know what I mean? When you go back and listen to it, shit came out in 1994 and 2024. It still hold up. You know what I mean? But Illmatic, it was written, another one. one of the greatest. I Am was cool. Nostradamus, Stillmatic. Stillmatic is what, you know what I mean? Ether is on there. Rewind, which is one of the greatest storytelling songs of, like, the man told a story backwards. He gave you the story from the end to the beginning. He rapped the story in reverse. You know what I mean? Like, listen, Nas is, he's another guy that will be your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. You know what I mean? Number 3, Kendrick Lamar. You know what I mean? K Dot. Listen, man, sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas, certified boogeyman, But this is the man. He the one that up the score with him. You know what I mean? But Kendrick Lamar, man, come on, man. You know the impact. Kendrick, one of the most impactful rappers. You know what I mean? Every time he does anything, like, his impact is so crazy that he hopped on a song. It wasn't even his song. Every time he hops on somebody else's song, it caused waves. You seen what happened on Control. Wasn't his song. He hopped on it. It caused a whole catastrophe in the industry. We forgot that was even Big Sean's song. We just like the Kendrick John. You know what I mean? He hops on like that, and you know what happened after that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the impact is there. Discography, come on, man. I'm just saying, I know Kanye, like I said, he might have the greatest 3-album run ever, but when you look at Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Damn, I mean, that's another solid 3-album run right there. I mean, Mr. Morale and the Big Stepper is another one, platinum. I mean, I know a lot of y'all, you know what I mean, y'all felt it was mixed reviews on that John, but it was still one of the better albums that came out in 2022. You know what I mean? But yeah, Kendrick Lamar, and of course the lyricism, delivery, and the flow. Like, come on now, like, lyricism, he checked that box more than once. Flow, come on, your delivery. A lot of people say, "Oh, his delivery. That's why I don't like him, because of the delivery." No, the delivery is what makes him special. So, like, Kendrick Lamar at 3. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. But yeah, Kendrick Lamar at 3. Number 2, Weezy F Baby, and Please Say the Baby. You know what I mean? Like, we know Wayne impact. Probably greatest mixtape run ever. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Lyricism, bar for bar, like Wayne, he done said so many things that you can't even comprehend. Like how the fuck did he think of that shit? You know what I mean? Flow, delivery, Wayne got it. Like, his flow really improved. I'ma say this forever. You know what I mean? I'ma say this forever. And y'all going, even though I'm not fucking with Gilly right now because he been glazing Drake something crazy, but the flow, Wayne wouldn't have got that flow if it wasn't for Gilly and them Philly niggas. You know what I mean? Once the Philly niggas got the Wayne and Cash Money, that's when his whole rap style changed. Like, go look it up. You know what I mean? That's when his whole rap style changed. And then he became what we know is now as one of the greatest of all time. But he checks every box. You know, he got the impact. His missed the mixtapes, the albums, you know what I mean? The Carter 1, I mean the Carter 2, Carter 3, you know what I mean? Like, excuse me. I mean, Carter 3, 8 times platinum. You know what I mean? I'm Not a Human Being went 2 times platinum. Carter 4 went 5 times platinum. Like, you know what I mean? It's there. You know, we know Wayne. I'm not mad if you say Wayne is the greatest of all time. I'm not mad at you. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not mad if you put Wayne at number 1, because he's literally done everything to put him at number 1. You know what I mean? I'm not mad if you say Wayne is the greatest. But for me, he's number 2. Now, number 1, if you know me, you know who number 1 is. You know what I mean? You know. You know what I mean? You know. You know what I mean? Comment, though. You know who number 1 is. Hove. Like, come on now. It's Hove. Lyricism. He got it. Like, all right, you go ahead and say the Biggie stuff, whatever. You know what I mean? Niggas spit Hove bars too, so that cancels out. You know what I mean? So we only, your man Wayne, who I just had at number 2, that recycle some of Hove bars. So Let's not, you know what I mean? Like, we ain't gonna do that. But he got the bars, the flow, the delivery, the discography, the impact. You know what I mean? The consistency for over 20 years to be the, you know what I mean? Like, come on now. Can we could just talk about everything what he did for Rockefeller, Rockaware, you know what I mean? Putting Dipset back on the map. You know what I mean? All that shit. Giving us Kanye West, all that. Like, come on, dog. Like, you just look at the discography, Reasonable Doubt. You know what I mean? One of the greatest debuts of all time in my lifetime. Hard Not Life, 6 times platinum. Volume 3, Life and Times, that's 3 times platinum. The Blueprint, one of the best albums of all time. That's 3 times platinum. Like the Black Album, one of the best albums of all time. Like when you look at his catalog, 13 studio albums. It's an arguable 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least 5 of these albums in this catalog is classic Jones. At least 5 of them. And then you got, you know what I mean, Watch the Throne. We know what that was going to do. Best of Both Worlds would have been one of the best albums of all time if R. Kelly wasn't on no fuck shit. You know what I mean? That would have been, you know what I mean? Then Jay-Z Bridge, like, bro, the Collision Course album with Linkin Park, like, come on, bro. He had the rap niggas and the rock niggas hand in hand when that number encore shit, like, bro. All my skate niggas was fucking with it. Like, listen, Jay-Z, number one, you know what I mean? He got the consistency, he checks every box, his discography, his impact, the lyricism, bars, the flow. He got it all. He got it all. He like basically personifies the criteria. That's why he's number one. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't have Hov at number one, which I am not mad at. I'm not mad at anybody's list. If you don't have Jay-Z on your list at all, then I kind of question, you know, your musical knowledge if you don't have him on your list at all. But if you don't got him at number one, I'm not mad at you. You know what I mean? Because everybody's GOAT is different. You know what I mean? It's somebody out there who, you know what I mean, they GOAT might be Soulja Boy. You know what I mean? Or they GOAT is Lil Durk. And I'm not mad at him. You know what I mean? Because that's who you like. But that's my number one. Jay-Z, number one, top 25 of all time. You know what I mean? So that's my list. That's the top 25 of all time. You know what I mean? This was a fun list. You know what I mean? It was fun it was fun seeing people's, you know what I mean, reactions to it and all that. You know what I mean? I got a lot of, you know, feedback on this, John. A lot of people agree with it. A lot of people said it was solid. And, you know, there's some people who, you know, always want to be contrarians just to be contrarians and say, oh, no, that John, you know what I mean, you on drugs making this John or whatever. And, you know, people telling me that, you know, it's rappers that, you know what I mean, like it's so many people telling me who to put on the list. And when you look at any top 25 list of all time, none of them rappers is on there. So like, yeah, I mean, you putting people on there based off who you like, and you're not basing it off of a criteria, which I did. I based it off of criteria. You know what I mean? Because if I put every rapper that I like on this list in the top 25, Future would have been on here. But I know for a fact Future is not a top 25 rapper of all time. He's one of my favorite rappers, but I'm not gonna put him in the top 25 because I'm biased. Like, no. You know what I mean? The criteria, the lyricism, flow, delivery, you know what I mean? He's not the greatest lyricist. His impact and discography definitely could land him on his list, but the other 3 boxes he don't check that well. So, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna put him on the list just because I like him. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of y'all people was trying to do. You're trying to put people on the list that you like. You know what I mean? And they don't fit the criteria. They don't check every box in the criteria. You know what I mean? You know, so I can't put them on the list. If you want to put them on your list and that's how you, whatever criteria you base it off, that's fine. You know what I mean? And I'll critique your list just like you critique mine. But, you know, like I said earlier in the show, this is just based off my opinion. I'm just one random man on Facebook that likes music, and I decided to do a top 25 list. You know what I mean? That's it. But, you know what I mean? If anybody else got a list, you want me to check it out, you want me to give my opinion on it, I will. I mean, I don't got no problem with that. But this was my John. Appreciate you, broski. You know what I mean? This was my list. You know what I mean? Top 25 of all time. We'll be back next week. You know what I mean? I'm kind of next week will be like more of a discussion, debate uh based type of episode. It's a few things that have been going on online that, not even online, just in the world in general, that I feel like we need to speak about. So, you know what I mean? That's what the next show is going to be about. You know what I mean? We definitely do need a tiny desk episode because Tierra Whack just did a tiny desk. Shit, Shaka Khan just did a tiny desk. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we definitely going to have a tiny desk episode on what it sound like. And make sure y'all check out what it sound like this week. You know what I mean? We back. I mean, we going to, light episode for y'all. We going to review some albums. Tim's just dropped. I mean, so we gonna talk about the Tim's. What albums we reviewing? Tim's, Willow Smith, Billie Eilish, and Rhapsody. So, you know what I mean? All those joints just came out. You know what I mean? All fairly new albums that we gonna talk about, give our opinion on. And also, before I leave, I wanted to touch on this too. You know what I mean? Because I didn't touch on it on yesterday's show. Now, a lot of people been talking about, let me pull it up real quick. I wanna give my spill on this before I hop off. It was some, of course, the Instagram. So of course Drake was on IG, right? So he posted a picture, you know what I mean, talking about and the caption said, "Goats don't worry about one trick ponies," right? So now everybody's, going through the mental gymnastics, you know what I mean, saying that, oh, he cooked Kendrick with that caption because it's a hidden message, referring to a movie called One Trick Pony. You know what I mean? And it's like, I mean, I feel like that's a hell of a reach, but that's what people were saying, that, oh, he cooked them with that caption and all that. You know what I mean? Trying to say, oh, Google the movie One Trick Pony, and it says the synopsis of it is Jonah is an aging rock star trying to put together a new album in the face of an indifferent record label and a talentless producer. At the same time, he's struggling to save his failing marriage. So basically, they're saying that is Kendrick, that he's aging, he's trying to put together a new album on a different label with a talentless producer, and his marriage is failing. You know what I mean? They're trying to say, oh, you know what I mean, he cooked Kendrick with that one. I just want to tell y'all this. Let this shit go. All right? Let it go. It's over. Like, this shit is done. You know what I mean? If they drop more records, the same shit is going to happen again. He's going to lose again. Like, just let it go. Like, I mean, we got one of the greatest feuds ever out of this joint. Just let it be. Like, y'all reading too much into some caption. Like, I don't understand how this is a win for Drake when you lost on wax. You lost on wax. You know what I mean? That's what the beef was. It was on wax. It's not an Instagram feud. It was a rap feud. It's not an Instagram feud. So all these IG captions and shit, you know what I mean, it don't mean a hill of beans to me. Like, it don't mean anything. Like, that just tells me, my thing is, and I said this on Twitter when I seen it, because everybody was going crazy. Oh, goats don't, you know what I mean, worry about one trick ponies. Well, goats don't post IG captions acting like they won. Like, you know what I mean? Goats don't do that. If you won, you won. You don't got to keep going on. I mean, y'all made fun of Meek Mill for the old Twitter fingers. All this nigga been doing ever since Kendrick cooked him is posting on IG. Even while Kendrick was cooking this nigga and he had him in a pot, he was posting on IG. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? He lost. Like, y'all gotta chill with this this shit, y'all. He cooked them with an Instagram caption. Like, come on, an Instagram caption? Did he cook the man on wax? No. Like, come on now. I'm not like, bro. Y'all gotta like y'all want y'all man to have the win so bad. Like it's getting sad at this point. You know what I mean? It really is. It's getting sad. And I mean, I just want y'all to be real with yourselves. And the crazy thing about this whole Instagram caption and everything, Drake said on a song that he made called War, and I quote, these are the lyrics he spit. You niggas spend too much time on captions and not enough time on action. Nigga, ain't you the one posting captions? Like how you come off, how you even fix your lips to say some shit like that when you the main nigga that be on Instagram caption this, caption that. Like the whole time you've been beefing with Kendrick, you've been, you know what I mean, trying to use social media to curry favor so you can win. You know what I mean? And you the same nigga that said you niggas spend too much time on captions and not enough action. The only time I seen Kendrick post on social media during this whole thing was to drop his diss records. If you go on Kendrick's Twitter right now, you know what I mean, he posted Euphoria on the Twitter. You go to his Instagram, the nigga got 2 posts, and one of the posts is 616 in LA. So like, come on. Like, come on, man. Like y'all gotta keep it a buck with yourselves, bro. Like he lost. All right. I get it. You know what I mean? You know, he in one of the stages. He in the denial stage. You know what I mean? It's cool. But sooner or later the acceptance will come. You know what I mean? But like I said, I don't believe it's over. Like I've been saying it since Not Like Gus dropped. You know what I mean? I do not believe it's over. Like, you know, because if this nigga gonna keep trying to sub niggas on Instagram, Kendrick about to do a show June 19th on Juneteenth, and you know he's going to perform Not Like Us on Juneteenth, and you know there's going to be video footage of it, of people going crazy. So you know that Canadian nigga, his skin going to be crawling when he see that shit. You know what I mean? And then Kendrick is going to drop an album soon, which I'm pretty sure he's going to have some more to say to that man on that album. So it's not over. Whatever battle we was in now, Drake lost that one. Like this, whatever round you want to call it, he lost. You know what I mean? But it's not over. You know what I mean? It's not over. These niggas said it's war. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes war has a little intermission and you go right back at the dropping bombs. So, I mean, you gotta get your troops back. I'm just saying, it's not over. But yeah, before I leave, Drake, just stop with the Instagram captions, bro. Like, it's not helping you. You're only digging your hole deeper. Like, all the real niggas know that's not, you know what I mean, giving you a win. You know what I mean? All the glazers and the bitches that want to fuck you, they gonna tell you that you was cooking with that joint, but you didn't cook, bro. The stove wasn't on. You know what I mean? Your air fryer was broke. The microwave didn't work. You wasn't cooking at all. Like, you know what I mean? So if you really want to cook, give us a better record this time. You know what I mean? Don't drop no Heart Part 6, because that joint was ass. Give us a better record if you really want to cook. But if you not, then shut up and take your L like a man, bro. Like, I mean, just keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. I never, like, you could tell Boy lost, because it's usually the nigga that got his ass whooped that always be talking crazy after the fight. Like, you know what I mean? The boy that won, he don't gotta say nothing because he won. You know what I mean? The proof is in the pudding. Y'all seen me whoop his ass, so I don't have to say anything. You know what I mean? The nigga that always got the loudest and the most to say after the fight is the one that lost. You know what I mean? And who's been saying the most since this whole thing's been over? It's been Drake. He been posting little subliminal Instagram shit ever since. You know what I mean? You hopped on the song with Sexy Red. You tried to, you know, do the BBL Drizzy John. That song is ass. The Wygon Delilah. I don't. Niggas could say he was trolling. I don't care. That shit was ass. Like, I mean, so after you lost, you dropped 2 shitty features, and then you've been posting on Instagram. So, like I said, the nigga that always talked the most after the fight is the nigga that lost. Because the nigga that won, he's not gonna say anything. Because, like I said, the proof is in the pudding. I won. Everybody saw me beat you up, so I don't have to say I whooped your ass. The world witnessed me do it. You know what I mean? I don't have to say it. The world know I did it. You know what I mean? You trying to convince the world that you didn't get beat up. So that's how you know you lost. But this is Welcome to HollyHood, episode 48. We back next week. I mean, that's all I wanted to say because I didn't touch on that yesterday. Just stop talking, Drake. You're making it worse for yourself. Like, just shut up for a minute. Like, if you really gonna give us these summer vibes you're talking about, just hop in the booth and make music. Stop posting on Instagram because you're not doing yourself no favors. Like, I mean, cut it out. But yeah, this your boy. We out. We'll see y'all next week. See y'all this Thursday. What it sound like? You know what I mean?